saving everybody, that's a waste of my time. If I catch a villain slipping, I just creep from behind. I pop an arrow in his neck and one more in his spine. When our powers combine, we turn water to wine. We become divine and turn water to wine. When our powers combine, we become divine and turn water into wine. Water to wine. One more time. I said I'm here just to bring the magic. I'm like Aladdin, I make it happen. I bring life back to a casket. I got that potion, setting flames upon the ocean. It gets hot, shit be blazing, no shit be roasting. Step back, dive down, don't get toasted. Bitch, you notice I'll explode on short notice. Y'all cannot stop me, I'm the man, I'm Big Poppy. I don't wanna knock your ass out like Robbie. Water to wine, water to wine. When our powers combine, we come divine and turn water into wine. Jump the gun and get it done. We gon' stir the pot just for fun. Take it to the top and hit the sun. Watch the waterfall, let it run. This is what I came to do. This kid ain't afraid to lead a stew. Spread my wings, fly and lead a coop. Life is just a big bowl of soup. You already know that I'm pouring a cup and then I'm packing a bowl and now I'm lighting it up. I'm bringing the heat, I'm searing the cut. So if you want beef, then I'm searing it up. She bringing the funk, a little tease the talk. I ain't a punk, I give her what she want. She bringing the funk, a little tease the talk. But I ain't a punk, I give her what she want. Come on. Till I die, light another spliff and get high. She just wants to party with the guys. Came with her friends on the fly. Funky little lady caught my eye. Brought my best game, can't be shy. She emptied my tank, a whole supply. Never kiss and tell to the guys. You already know, I'ma keep it a book. I'ma play my cards till I run out of luck. I'ma dive right in it like a lake with a duck. I'ma put it on my plate and start eating it up, yeah. I'ma take a bite out of crime because there ain't no way that you can stop the shine. Come on, I'ma say it one more time. There is no way that you can stop the shine. What up?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Landy Lodge, where today it's a little bit impromptu. Didn't really see this episode coming, didn't really have this episode planned until about 24 hours ago, but here we are, talking Pokemon yet again. What a year it's been for Pokemon. But before I introduce our incredible guests, please allow me to send a lot of gratitude, all the gratitude, to the ones who make this possible. That being the Sages of the Lodge. Let me just rattle them off real quick. These are the people kind enough to give it as little as 1 gil a month to keep this train rolling. So without further ado, major shout outs to Charlotte Astry, Alex Pamal, Chris and Maria Perkowski, Scott Castellano, Shane Driscoll, Jillian Eason, Corey Barchat, Twilight Blaze, Nick Taborski, Kevin McBride, AJ Wilhite, Michael Fay, Andrew Clay, Brandon Abrams, Gaseous Snake, Mookie DTRT90, Orpheus Joshua, Jordan Krupka, Corey Sarakis, and, as a matter of fact, one of tonight's guests, David Freese, who is on the bottom right, LanzofMasters, who is on our bottom left, and Treehouse sitting over here on the top left. I don't know which one of you want to go first, but before we dive into the world of Pokemon, let's everybody give a little spiel about who you are, what you do, where people can find you. David, why don't we start with you, since you've definitely got the most peculiar getup out of everybody here tonight.
What's going on, guys? I'm resident David Freese here of Brown Sugar and the Blind Albinos, playing some bass. We play that bass action. Pokemon enthusiast, and I'm just happy to be here, guys. I'm really excited to talk about it.
Good to have you, man. Now, which one of you want to go next?
I'll go ahead and go. What's up, guys? My name is Treehouse. I stream a lot of Smash Bros. And Pokemon and Kingdom Hearts. So if you guys are interested in those, check me out on Twitter at Treehouse _TTV, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, where some content will be coming out soon on there. So it feels so great to be a sick fuck here at the lodge today. So thank you for having me.
Sickos and Gomies, baby.
Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Lanz. I'm a master. I play a lot of Kingdom Hearts, and I play a lot of Pokemon, and I am so excited to talk about Gen 9 with these amazing gentlemen here.
Okay, so without further ado, guys, who do you got? I'm going Foy Coco. Who do you guys got?
Oh, 100%. I'm right there with it. I always go with the fire starter. I can't help it.
Yo, I am Quaxley gang all
Same here, dude. Same here. I have to, man. Too fresh.
How
Too
many
fresh.
duck water Pokemon are we gonna get?
This is the best one.
Maybe
This
they
is the
just
best one.
they keep getting better, Dave.
I want more. I want more now.
Me
Like,
more.
I,
I want to duck every single generation.
yeah,
Exactly.
As a starter. As a starter.
As a starter, yeah.
as a starter.
But I gotta say, I personally, I think the crop of Gen 9 starters looks pretty good. Like, I try to imagine what all their evolutions look like, and like just between Quaxley's like hairdo getup and, you know, Foy Coco's like really expressive face, and how's the other one said? Was it Spigatito? Spiritigo? What is it? What is it?
Spaghetti Gago.
Spirigatito. Spirigatito.
I will say,
who I think's the, no pun intended, is like the ugly duck of the crew.
they're like the fakest, realest Pokemon ever, and I love them.
This is so funny. I saw a video today. I don't know if you guys know Alta Mike, but
Yes.
his reaction was like, they gotta be fake.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
And they kind of, I like them, but it kind of do look a little bit fake. Like, if I saw them on like a Twitter timeline with zero context, I'd be like, yo, that's fake as fuck.
That's
Oh,
especially
they all look
Quaxley.
so fake.
I still don't believe that Quaxley is real. Honestly, when I first heard his name, I thought it was a reference to Elvis Presley because of the hair. That's what I thought, but apparently that's not it at all, and I'm just an idiot.
You know, Quaxley is real when I one shot your Coco fire thingy.
Yeah, I was that guy there. Yeah, I don't know.
I will say,
don't know, he looks a little weird, but
I like the official art a lot more because, like, I mean, I thought the cat was cool when they revealed it, but they're all like a darker color from that trailer because it's like posted
Yeah.
on the wall.
Yeah,
So when they started coming out with the art, I was like, okay, like
I thought
I
they
like
looked
the
a
cat
bit
more.
better. I thought they looked a bit better.
Oh yeah,
Official
I thought it was
art, for
a
sure.
pretty big difference too. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Thought that was a cool way to reveal them too, because like when you hear there's a new gen of Pokemon, like this is everybody's first question: is what do the starters look like?
oh, of course.
Yeah. How are we feeling about everything else we saw? I think one of the big standout things about the Gen 9 trailer, and we'll touch on everything else, or at least most things Pokemon Day had to offer, but sticking with Gen 9 for now, I think one of the biggest things we're seeing the upgrades in textures. Like Magnemite actually looks metallic now, you know what I mean?
Magnemite looks beautiful. Beautiful.
I
You can
agree.
see like the little
Yeah.
like indents of the screw and like the different shades, and he looks very metallic. Even with the Meowth, when he was walking down the lane, you see the shadow like underneath his head and stuff. It looked great. I mean, there was
I
some
agree.
like weird things like that with the Hoppip and the windmills, and one was going like this. Not the best, but
That's to be expected.
Yeah.
Right. Come on. We saw that with Arceus, and now look at how we're all talking about that game.
I saw someone on Twitter say that the trailer was like a PS1 game.
No
Oh.
way. Come on.
Pokemon will
I
never
know.
escape that. They'll never
Probably
escape it.
trolling, but it was just when you're scrolling and you read that, it makes you laugh.
I will say about the trailer, I first thought it was Detective Pikachu 2 because that game has been in development. They announced it was in development in like 2019.
Oh yeah,
Like
forever.
on that Pokemon Day or that presents during the summer. And it was really crazy to me because like the Pokemon company, Junichi Masuda, like they always leave hints, right? So when I saw all of the Gen plushies behind the guy who was presenting, I was like, I think we might get Gen 9. So, and from when they announced
as soon as he
Arceus,
got up there, it was
as soon
Never
as you
mind,
saw
go
him, I was like, I knew it was going to be it. But look, some people want Detective Pikachu graphics, which is fucking weird, but like the movie, they want it to be so realistic. But I mean, I think they're absolutely killing it. And it's only going to get better too, right?
Yeah, this is
like,
early
look
footage,
look at even BDSP and Legends Arceus from back then. People were like, look at the frames, but the art style turned out to be great.
Yeah.
So it's only going to
I
get
agree.
better.
Well, I'll say this. I think all the like graphical and texture updates on the Pokemon are fantastic, but there was one thing I didn't quite like. I don't really like the models for the trainers, and that's just
I don't like
me.
them at all.
That's what I wanted to 100% talk. Wait
They
a
almost look
second here.
like dolls, like moving dolls. They
I
kind
get
of
there's
doll
like
blush.
customization,
No, the
like
art,
more
no,
now,
the
but
art,
still.
like, the illustrations look fine to me. Like that looks fine to me. I'm talking about that
I don't know, the
in-game model.
eyes. Something in the eyes is like, I
Well,
don't
the eyes
know.
are more circular as opposed to like the oval style that Pokemon is used to.
Yeah, let's
I want to push those two into a
Here's-
locker. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's the only thing that looked off-putting to me is that dude.
It's weird.
But again, like you were saying, Tree,
so
like this is
gross.
early footage. It's very possible that when we get closer to the release date, the character models look a little bit better.
I think they will.
Right? You got to assume if they say gameplay footage not final, whatever, you got to assume that it's going to get better.
You would at least
Also,
hope so.
I'm pretty sure I saw this. I don't know if it was confirmed, so maybe one of y'all can help me. But I did see for each version of the game, they're going to have different colored outfits. Is that right?
Yes. That's
Okay. I just wanted to
absolutely
make
true.
sure.
Oh, that's cool.
I saw that.
Violet
Yeah, I
is
saw that. It's pretty
purple,
sick.
and then the Scarlet is like red. So it's like Scarlet and Violet.
Mhm.
It looks like they're like school kids. So we might be like, in a trainer school or something, going around the region. Like they don't look like they're going out for an adventure. You know what I mean? They look like they're going to school with Papa or something.
Study, yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys, what from Pokemon Arceus do you want them to incorporate into Gen 9?
I want the whole game overworld shinies. I want all overworld Pokemon.
I'm with that too.
Yes.
100%.
You want to see something crazy though? What I saw on do you guys follow them on Instagram?
Who? No, I don't think I do.
Okay. So when they announced the trailer, they said embark in an open world adventure in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. So assuming it's going to be totally open world, it has to be. If you're going to say it
Yeah, to at least some
Now-
degree. If you're going to say open world adventure on the day you announce it, to some degree, the game's got to
And
be
they-
open world.
And they did even say that for August.
Yeah,
Like they,
that's a good point.
like if they're
Wait,
saying that for
didn't-
if they're
they
saying that
didn't-
for this, then it
Yeah,
should
they-
be.
wow.
They didn't say that for Arceus.
Yeah.
So this might be even more open world than Arceus in the sense
Open-
that
Yes.
maybe
Yeah.
you
I
can
think
do
that's what
things
it's
in
gonna
whatever
be.
order you want. You know what I mean? That there's no, it's literally or not literally non-linear in the sense that you can pretty much go whatever path you think best suits you. That would be incredible.
Well, even with like, even if you take away graphics and stuff, right? Like I've never, I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but I've never played Pokemon games for the graphics or for the story or anything like that.
yeah,
I've really
Either
done it
for-
obviously
Same.
for the playing experience, and I
Same.
think that was like one thing I never thought Pokemon could improve on was the gaming personal experience of capturing and catching Pokemon and battling, and I think Legends Arceus absolutely killed that.
Oh,
Yeah.
And if
nailed
they can
it.
find
Big
more
facts.
ways to make it more personal and even more like what they did with Arceus, like I would absolutely love that. Right.
Absolutely.
I think
That-
it's as
that's one
simple
big
as
thing.
letting your Pokemon like travel outside with you. Like in Arceus, you
Yeah.
can throw them out and they could like just chill and hang out.
Running
But, like,
around
really-
during battles, you know,
Yes,
like
yeah.
it's the little things, man, that make it
Mhm.
feel so personal.
So what I think they're gonna do, sort of like that, I think they're gonna keep the battle style the same as Arceus stuff. I think they're gonna go back to the traditional style. I don't think you're gonna be able to, because for those hardcore fans, people like competitive battling, and
Right.
you can't do that in Arceus with all that, like the different kind of mechanics.
Yeah, the
it's
speed,
not
the
turn
speed,
by
the
turn,
strength.
you know?
Yeah.
Right. So, do we like that, or do we want to stay away from that? Because I feel like that's almost regressing. You know.
Well, I think at the end of the day, there has to be a difference between like the mainline generation games and the Legends series, right? These two are supposed to be distinctively different from one another. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
otherwise you're just literally repackaging the same thing, which is the exact thing
Yeah.
Game Freak's trying to avoid right now.
I've heard a
yeah.
lot. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no, all you Lance, take it.
I was going to say that, like, a lot of people have told me that they want the future of the main lines, but Arceus is main line, but they want the main series to follow Arceus, and I don't agree with that. I want them to take some ideas from Arceus, but
Yeah.
like they're supposed to be two different entities. Like I want my normal like main games, and I want future Arceus games as well.
You know, I saw somebody give a take that I think was actually pretty good. That the mainline games are going to be more for like, at the end of the day, will be targeted mostly towards younger audiences, while Legends will be there to kind of satisfy those legacy fans and legacy players with a more intensive and strategic sort of experience. Whereas with Gen 9, we can hope for an amazing world to explore, but at the end of the day, as you're saying, Lance, they're going to be different from one another. But I think if there's room for one thing to be similar, it's like that exploration and catching mechanic, right? Because Sword and Shield already gave us the wild area, which, you know,
Yeah.
our Legends borrowed a lot from the wild area and from Sword and Shield. So you have
Wow, there was the best part of that game.
absolutely. That's what kept me coming
Big
back for
facts.
more a lot. That and the legendary hunts.
I do think
Going along with the DLC.
Yeah.
I do think
Basically
something
the wild
about
area.
Arceus is like right now, I think the Pokemon I think we're spoiled right now with Arceus because I honestly
We
don't
are.
think
Yeah.
we're gonna get something like that, maybe ever,
Yeah.
because talking about false gods, don't die, come back alive, fighting, you know,
Mhm.
basically God and the devil, you know, like I remember when they were developing Gen 4 back in the day, that was actually Pokemon's lowest point in popularity, right? So they
Yeah.
really pushed everything, and it kind of goes with the rhetoric of the story. So
Yeah.
I think right now, it was genius for them to, you know, get BDSP out and then Arceus, something that's so extreme on both sides. So maybe from their reviews or their rating or whatever they do, because the Pokemon company is like, I think one of the best marketing companies in the whole world, right? And it's also,
I would say so.
so
There's a
I-
reason why it is where it is. you know?
I think if they could find some type of story balance from BDSP and then some kind of open world gameplay from Arceus and put it together just to make a new gen, I think that would be perfect. And I know they did this on purpose because Gen 4, like Legends Arceus, was the perfect gen and the perfect time to kind of make a game like that. So I don't know if we're ever going to get something like Arceus again. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll add new gameplay mechanics, of course, but I would like something in between because I think like kids are smart. Kids beat Breath of the Wild, right? Yeah. Like if someone can 100% Breath of the Wild, like they can do something in Pokemon. Like I think they forget that.
Well, I'll say this:
kids beat the original Pokemon too.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
Where that didn't tell you anything. When I was a kid and I first started playing Pokemon Blue, I had no idea how to even get out of my house. I didn't know I had to walk through that door. Like, so I would sit in that, one little house. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't even know. So, like, kids can figure it out. They'll figure it out.
Right.
Well, I think one of the ways, too, that the generation lines can differentiate themselves a lot is sort of those extra modes of gameplay, right? Like there's a lot that Sword and Shield does that at the end of the day Arceus doesn't. Like that sort of like legendary hunting, like that raid mode that they do when you raid like Gigantamax with your friends. Even just doing like PvP and like person-to-person battles. I feel like it's actually going to be a lot of those exterior modes that the generations are going to need to utilize to differentiate themselves.
Yeah, because right now they're still doing like pros or whatever, the pros.
Competitive Pokemon.
Yeah, it is competitive
Pokemon.
Sword and
they
Shield,
still use Sword and Shield, which is insane. They haven't really made a new game where you can battle in a way that like can be viable competitively. Because in Diamond Pearl, they didn't have the new generation Pokemon. So you can't really do competitive that way.
I think I remember this is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, this is still from a game. What 2018 or 2019 did Sword and Shield?
Sword and Shield.
2019.
They're getting to the point where that format has to be obsolete, right?
I think the XY generation. I think that Omega Sapphire and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I think those remakes, I think they continue competitive onto those.
Oh,
but for this generation, they didn't do that because
they couldn't.
They
didn't have the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's good too with Gigantamax and stuff too, or like it's kind of perfect. For people who can play competitively.
Big Pika.
I was gonna say
Big Pika. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Only. Not one, but two. No, yeah. But I will say that first of all, Japan's like lettering of the games always looks fucking fire compared to ours, right? Yeah. And also for Scarlet and Violet, if you look at the Japan versions, there's a little star kind of in the center of both of them, and I don't know if that's going to be the gimmick or not. It's kind of the star legendary or something.
Well, I mean, if you look inside, inside the Violet font, it looks very like outer space-ish, like
Right.
Even in the Violet one, there's like little stars in it too.
Yeah.
So people are speculating that. What do you guys think? A lot of people coming out saying that it's kind of based on the Spain Portugal region there.
Yes,
I could see it. 100%.
Yeah.
Now, because Spain and Portugal are kind of close to France, which was X and Y, do you think we're going to see some, like, maybe mega evolutions, maybe stuff from Kalos kind of mixing in here?
I hope so, because I missed Gen 6, but from afar, I always loved the mega evolutions. So I'm really sad I kind of missed out when, like, that was the gimmick. Because of all the gimmicks I've seen them line up per generation, the mega evolutions are the coolest.
Well, there are a couple things like in Pokemon Home, right? They have new HD renders of mega evolution, so that's one. And then number two is that if you look at the very beta screen for Sword and Shield, there's Mega Rayquaza, right? So like they have these mega evolutions like on their mind, but I don't know when they're going to bring them back, or maybe even if, but they definitely have thought about it for a lot.
They'll try and find the perfect opportunity to get them in. I feel like
Well,
I hope
because
this is
fans
it.
love them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fans really love that mechanic.
And they've shown that they're
You like those older
it's pretty
Pokemon.
obvious they're starting to listen to fan feedback, or at least starting to consider it. Because a lot of the changes they seem to be making seem to be like popular opinion on like what they could have overall improved on.
100%.
And listen, the Pokemon Company, like, they're hit, man. Like, they're pretty up to date. Like, if you look at their clothing and their kind of advertisements now, I mean, it is for young adults, and it is for people who are like really into gaming. Like, I feel like we'll never get a game as intense and in your face as Arceus again.
No,
And
I don't think so either.
I think that's a huge sign to say that they are listening, especially from the Switch, right? So
I just think one thing that like I would want from Gen 9, is I really enjoy Jubilife City and Arceus, right? Give me like 12 of those.
The Hub City.
Like with their own flavor and their own like unique side quests and stuff and like their own little culture.
There has to be people there.
Yeah, give me give me
Feel
like
populated.
Yeah, dude. Like that's something that could bring me back and forth, right? Because I feel like Arceus is probably always going to work in this way where you have this hub town that you sort of work for, and you have a select few outside areas you could visit, but won't be as detailed. Whereas Pokemon has always been about going from town to town. And like even when they had limited resources, they really went above and beyond to give each town its own like unique sort of style or unique sort of feeling, right? Like Lavender Town in Gen 1 is like a perfect example, right? That idea, right?
And Critique City in Gold and Silver.
Yes.
It's just got that life.
I will say one thing I really didn't miss in Arceus was like, obviously there's trainer battles, but if you got BDSP just a couple months before, oh my gosh, they're everywhere, right?
Yeah.
You don't have nearly as many trainer battles in Arceus, and I didn't really miss that. I actually really enjoyed
I didn't miss it at all.
getting EXP for doing this stuff, like capturing wild Pokemon.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I like that too.
I really liked it. Like I hope, since they're the protagonists, I think look like maybe one of the youngest ever, and I'm getting this kind of school vibe. So I hope it's not like, let's battle your classmates, and I'm like, not again, because I'm
Right.
spoiled with not all these with these no trainer battles. So I wouldn't mind that.
That goes back to like the feeling that you get when you play Arceus, because everything just moves and goes and flows into each other. And my argument against those trainer things is that it's just so static. It like stops you in your place to go and go through a bunch of menus again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I mean, I think they could
agree.
find ways
Less
to
trainer
make the
battles.
trainer battles more seamless. You know what I mean? Ways that could happen quickly. I honestly think one of the ways you do that is like if you simply have the Pokemon at the top of your party following you in the overworld, then when you get into a battle, you don't have to like summon the Pokemon and throw them in. You can just hop, boom, ready. And only one trainer has to throw a Pokemon out. And just like that, you kind of cut that intro scene in half.
Good idea.
And like, I'll say this, going back to like the Gen 9 landscapes, the cities and like towns they do show off honestly look better than I would have ever expected.
Same.
Oh, yeah.
I expected them to look so good.
And I honestly think like the cities and the buildings look better than the nature landscapes. Not that the nature landscapes don't look good, but like that right there, that's kind of where I feel like the world sort of shines.
That house is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also
give me more of that.
Oh yeah.
About like the whole like regular things in Pokemon that have changed. One thing I think would be really cool is like, I personally loved Sun and Moon, and I really enjoyed it because that was the first time the Pokemon Company like ever even thought about getting rid of gyms. Like, I like the idea of getting a badge, but I want to do something that takes more than just beating 3 trainers and a gym leader. Like, what if we have to take so many tests and an exam and something after just to get a badge to move on, to show that we're actually graduating or going to the next grade? Like, I think if they put more of emphasis of that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that could be cool. Like moving up a grade. Yeah, that's like a.
I actually really like that idea because then it almost makes more sense, right? Because something that doesn't make sense, at least to me, they found ways to work it in like later down the line, especially like in the anime. But like the idea that like, okay, I've been a trainer for 5 minutes and I beat a gym leader. Like, what kind of what kind of Pokemon League is this? If like some kid can walk through a forest once and then beat a gym, right? But if you structure it in a way where it's like it's a test that's laid out for you, then it sort of makes sense why the skill level kind of progresses in that way.
I like that.
Right. I think that'd be really cool. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this, and something I would like to see. That kind of goes back to what we were talking about, like this in between BDSP and Arceus. I feel like that would be kind of cool to bring back those gyms, but it'd be kind of tests and grades and stuff. But
I'd feel that then every like gym leader is almost like a teacher or a professor, right?
Yes.
And it's like, and maybe you take something different from each professor. I don't know.
Right, exactly. The professor's like, oh shit, this kid's a genius.
Do you guys think they need to update the combat at all, or do you think they should just leave it just the way it is?
For the main line, they're going to leave it the way it is. They just have to, because it's the mainline games. Talking about the combat, like with the competitive scene, and they just need to have that out there. They'll change it for like the Legends games, I can only assume, but for the mainline games, I don't see them changing that up.
I don't think it's necessary to either.
I think it'd be really cool if they showed like, like Pikachu avoided the attack. It'd be kind of cool if they showed the attack and then
dodge
they
it.
moved. Yeah, like tiny little things like that would be huge. Like, who knew that running around during a battle would change my life? Right? But now it's like, but if you add something as simple as that, you know, to a battle as avoiding or dodging or like, you know, getting burned, like I know they have like the little flare thing, but what if they kept showing it during the battle or something like that? Like, I think that'd be really cool.
And the fact that they have to, like, say you're burnt, you have intimidate, whatever, that stopping of it, just like, okay, we get it. It lowers your attack. Go, move on. Don't make a whole attack has been lowered. And then
you know what I would
make
like
it all one motion.
You know what I would like to see too, that I think would be cool, at least as far as Gen 9 goes? So you know how like all these Pokemon, when you catch them, they like a personality trait attributed to them, right?
The natures?
So yeah, they have different natures, exactly. Like I would like to see that like when you set up like Pokemon Camp or you let your Pokemon out, they may have been doing this to a small extent, but I like to see them do it to a big extent.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
like
they act those
supposed
natures
to.
out, and different natures interact differently with each other. You know what I mean? So if you get like a brave Pokemon and like a scare or like a skittish Pokemon,
Tasty.
you can make this cool little interaction where maybe like the brave Pokemon tries to help him come out of his shell a little bit. You know?
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would
little
love that.
things like that. And that's the thing. It doesn't have to be Pokemon specific. It could just be nature specific. Like imagine a cowardly Blastoise and like a courageous Caterpie. Like it could make for some funny stuff.
Right.
That's brilliant. That's a really good idea.
Also, this is super random, but what color do you get if you mix Reddish Scarlet with Violet? Because like they were supposed to make Pokemon Gray years ago with Black and White, but then they ended up just making Black 2 and White 2. Yeah. So I wonder what color you get, because what if like I don't know. I'm just interested.
I'm gonna look into that. Okay, you get. It's very magenta looking, so it's not great.
Pokemon Magenta.
but
Hell yeah!
Magenta. All right.
Hell yeah! No. No, I was just wondering. I'm not trying to go that far down, but it also
honestly, now that you say that though,
DLC.
Now that you say that though, my question is Sword and Shield gonna get their version of that?
Nah.
You don't think there's a platinum? You don't think there's a crystal?
Nah, I think it was the 2 islands. I think that's
the DLC.
It. I think so. I would say if it was like if let's say we get these games and then like we don't get any DLC, like maybe they would pull that, you know? Because now it's
DLC is going to the future from now on.
It could be.
I think we're going to see like with this game.
I thought we were going to get.
We're going to have this the Cloud Tundra or the Isle Armor type of like DLC moving forward in terms of the main series, and not have like a third game or a sequel.
Right.
And I don't know about you guys. I'll take like a couple new islands in Arceus. That sounds like a dream to me, honestly.
Yeah,
That's what I thought this present was going to be. I thought they were going to announce Arceus DLC, and I was
I'm not sure
really pumped for that.
I'm not sure they were confident it was going to sell like this. I think they knew they were going to do pretty well, but I don't think they knew the sales would be competitive to a mainline Pokemon. You know? I think that's a
played it
surprise
safe.
for them. So I'm not sure they had DLC ready, like in their pocket, like a lot of game releases do. I think this might have
they
been a
only
little
announced-
bit of a cautious test.
Hey, all this means is they can start the next Legends game.
Yeah.
I do think
I'm all
I
for
think it logically makes sense, right? Because we got Sword and
Do one and
Shield
then another one.
3 years ago, and then we got BDSP and Arceus, which is technically 2 remakes of the remade gen. So I was only thinking like if they did do a little presents now and then they had something big during the summer to announce, that would make sense. But since it's coming out this year, like I was still obviously fucking surprised, but I like as soon as I saw the plushes and I thought about it, I was like, okay, it makes perfect sense because it's been a long time since we've since Sword and Shield,
It's been 3 years almost 3 years at this point.
It's crazy.
And honestly, I gotta admit, I'm kind of a Sword and Shield shill. Like, I had fun with the game. I liked it more than Sun and Moon. I don't know.
I want voice acting in this game. Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. They don't have.
I
How
would
they
love
didn't
it.
have it in Arceus drove me nuts.
Pokemon Snap
Imagine
had it.
hearing,
Yeah.
imagine hearing Arceus that whole speech in the beginning, but with like a voice like this. And
Right.
we're talking about our grand adventure.
Oh, imagine something like,
Like, come on.
seek out all Pokemon. Or some shit like that,
Right.
yeah.
Or it could be like the one from the movie where it talks like, seek out all Pokemon.
Yes,
I
okay,
did
so
get-
go ahead, Trey, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I loved like the beginning of Arceus because like I saw some people get the footage and they put it with the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1 music and I got like immediate similar vibes.
It's total
like,
Kingdom Hearts vibes, the
It's
intro.
total Kingdom
Let's be
Hearts.
honest.
It is.
They're like, what should we do in the beginning? They're like, well, have you played Kingdom Hearts?
exactly. Do you know Sora?
Oh my god. But speaking, you brought up like the voice from the movies in the show. Just to get off of Gen 9 for a little bit. What do you guys think about them making an anime about the Hisui region?
I
Brilliant.
think it
I think-
deserves it.
that-
These
that flew under
characters
the
are
radar.
so
Mhm.
these
No,
characters are so good and they deserve a platform for them to flourish.
Right.
So did they showcase in the
Look-
trailer whether it would take place during like the Legends time, or do we not
Legends
know?
time, yeah.
Ooh. I kind of love that because I kind of like that whole region, like from Jubilife City to some of the characters we got to meet.
Yeah,
Lance,
I
we
want to
talked
see. I
about
want
it,
to see Agamen. I want to see Ariga. I want to see Arisa. I want to
Now,
see
do we
them.
think it's going to be
have
something
a
like
voice to them.
Evolutions or Generations? Like it's going to be one of those short ones, or do we think it's going to be like a full length anime? You know what I mean?
I think it's going to be a full length anime because with Generations and Evolutions, those were they kind of popped out of nowhere. They didn't really make a big announcement for them. And at the same time, like I feel like that only shows the potential of how well they can do an anime that's just totally different and something as serious as the story of Arceus. Because I think it was for the 20th anniversary when they did Generations. Like I loved that. Like
I did
I was
too.
like, this is raw. Like this is just like what a real like. I'm
Awesome.
sorry, Ash, I love you, but like times are changing. Like we need something different and fresh, and it just shows you how like the potential of Pokemon. You can do so many different things.
That's why I'm a huge advocate for the manga, dude. The manga is like everything that you want, from that more serious tone to a more like just story going along with the games that they give the character, they flesh out all the characters. Like, I'm a huge fan of that, and I want everyone to read it. I really think any Pokemon fan would love the manga.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this:
And
this
if they
man's
kinda go in that
true to his word
direction-
because I'm looking at some of his Pokemon manga on my shelf right now, and I gotta say, Dave, I remember when you gave those to me, and I read through a few of them. It really is kind of like it's like a take on Pokemon you didn't know existed. Really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, an Arbok's head gets literally chopped off.
Yeah.
You see the guts coming out of it. It fucking goes there. It's awesome. Let's get more of that. Like,
That's kind of crazy.
That's
yeah,
sick.
yeah.
Holy shit.
You might need to move to Japan if you want more of that, Dave.
I guess. Hey.
Oh my lord.
Also,
Go
I
ahead.
love the OLED switch in the trailer. By the way, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, they gotta like throw that in there.
Yeah,
right?
they gotta throw
Speaking
that
of
in there.
marketing,
Which really
Best of business.
which really says like how long because like people, I'm sorry, people forget how long these kind of games are in development for. Like years.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Nintendo is like locked shut, and so is the Pokemon Company with this type of thing too. So I still think it was like genius of them to wait after Legends. And because if you think about it, they've really played it safe. They had like a nice HD normal game that people have been wanting forever, but yet they were still listening to the hardcore, honestly crazy fans. Because at the time, no one thought we would get anything like this. So
but
keep
you know
that
what?
going.
We saw it firsthand. It brought a lot of new players to the series.
mhm,
You know,
Yeah.
right.
and that's what risk taking.
My
can do for
sister's
you.
boyfriend, who hasn't played a Pokemon game since like the Game Boy, got back into it and loves
Yeah.
it. He's like 100% in this game right
Mhm.
Prime example.
now. Like people who are like so on the fridge, it's kind of like the Pokemon Go effect, where Go came
Right.
out and people were like, "All right, more people are gonna start playing Pokemon." And they got into it.
Which we got a
You-
Pokemon Go announcement, boys. That's going to be the rest of the podcast. We got to do a full hour on the Pokemon Go content. I mean, while we are on the note, were you guys all in on the summer of Pokemon Go? Like,
Not really.
not really.
Do I
No,
breathe?
Lance, you never bit it. You never bit the bait.
Oh wait. Are you talking about this upcoming summer or
No,
2016?
the first summer it dropped. When like
Oh,
everyone was
that was the best summer ever.
like-
That was the best summer of my life.
Dude, I don't know about you guys, but like in my hometown, I saw people I hadn't seen in years, just like in a
Oh,
church
same,
parking
same.
lot
Walking
trying to catch a Geodude. I was like, "Oh, dude, Ryan, it's been years. What are you doing? Catching a Geodude? Pfft, me too."
All right.
That summer was amazing.
Dude, I was a sophomore in undergrad then, and I remember
You were a
like,
baby.
I was a baby boy. I was a big baby, and I remember like because I lived like in Richmond, which used to be the #1 crime capital of the world, and there's this place called, and then until I left, cough. No, but it was really funny because there was this place called Monroe Park, and there would always be just 2 officers there, even though a shit ton of crime would happen. Right. So I remember that summer, like the first 2 days, that park was flooded to the very tips to the road. And the cops are like, "What's going on?" And we're like, "Oh, we're playing Pokemon Go." And he's like, "Y'all need to leave." Like now. And I just remember like I met so many people through Pokemon Go, and the fact that they're still killing the phone market as well with Pokemon Masters. People do play Pokemon Cafe and like with Pokemon Go, and then like the stuff to collect, like the plushes, the collectibles, and then this mainline game is like it's really showing that Pokemon like is evolving in different ways. So like I've never really been like I've never always been really worried about Pokemon like fucking something up because I've always enjoyed the games, but I think now it's like there's also a point where Nintendo is saying like the Pokemon Company, you got to do something more than like Sword and Shield at the end of the day. So I mean, they were huge. There were actually some legitimate reports of how Nintendo was helping Gamefreak make a Breath of the Wild game. And I've actually found the article like a couple weeks ago, and I sent it to my friend. He was like,
Oh, really?
"Shit."
Well, didn't
Yeah.
I could have this wrong or just completely read Twitter nonsense, but didn't they take somebody from the Breath of the Wild team and put them on Game Freak?
I read that somewhere too.
Did you? I haven't seen that. I heard Nintendo. There were like actual reports of like them.
I
Of
heard it
Nintendo
might have
helping.
been someone from Monolith.
From Monolith Soft.
I don't know if that's actual FX fact, but I think I might have read that somewhere that it was someone from Monolith that got that helped out with Arceus.
I'll have to check that
Either
out.
way, like what we got was like better than I really thought it could have been.
Right.
You know, like and as much as I would love for that to just be the direction, see, I'm on the opposite side of you, Lance. Like I would like to just see it go in that kind of direction. Give me more Arceuses. Give me more of that like feeling of just progression constantly.
I feel
And
that.
hopefully Scarlet and Violet do that. I really hope they do.
I want both. I think the more Pokemon games, the better. So I want my Arceus, I want my Legends like game every single generation.
So do you think they'll do like what they did here? Like they'll do a Gen 9 and then they'll have Ilka do another remake and then do another Legend? Do we think that's going to be like the pattern now?
Well, I feel like they do a remake every other generation. So I think we'll get DLC, like a big DLC like we saw with Sword and Shield. And I think we'll get another Legends game. Hopefully a Legends Mew game.
Let's go.
That's what I want. That's the game I want the most, honestly. In life.
I'm a sucker for Celebi. I
respect
I'll
that.
take
Celebi,
it.
I like Celebi.
Celebi's cool. Celebi's cool.
I'll take it.
Shaman?
travel
No, I'm just
aspect.
kidding. One
Let's
thing-
kick off a call.
One thing that I'm a little worried about is that I'll compare it with like one of my favorite games, like for Smash, right? They got all these third-party DLCs, and it really got to the point where no one really wanted like regular Nintendo characters, or it wouldn't be hype without it. And I'm kind of afraid that the Pokemon Company like went so far out and crazy with Arceus. Like, what if this next gen is more open world, but it's not as intense as with other factors that everyone's really been wanting and craving? So I have a feeling like I hope they find a good medium between that's similar to the mainline games, or just something new.
I'm
You know.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. That's all I had to say.
I was going to follow up what you said, that like my main gripe with the base game of Sword and Shield was there was no like, besides the wild area. I feel like Game Freak put most of the stock in the wild area and not so much in like caves or like explorable areas like that.
God. The Galar Cave 1 and Galar Cave 2. They didn't even
Terrible.
have names for them.
Awful. I'm glad they kind of brought
the
more of
game
that
was literally
into
a
the.
straight line.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm glad they kind of brought a little bit more of that into the Crown Tundra and Outer Armor
Oh, yeah.
DLCs.
That was
But,
great.
Like, I would like to see more like caves and like that kind of exploration in the base game, and I have to wait for DLC to have that experience.
Definitely.
So, here becomes my big question for Gen 9. Do you think they keep up with, like, well, how do I put this? Do you think, just like Treehouse, you were getting at earlier, you kind of like them moving away from, say, gyms. Do you think this is going to keep up with, like, Pokemon leagues, or do you think they're going to start moving away from that, too?
See, I would love it if they kind of got like, I don't know, it got kind of boring when I hit like Gen 4, like way back in the day. It's like, oh great, another gym, like another league, another blah blah blah. But like, if they could find a way to incorporate these kind of leads, make it a bit more challenging, but also like be different and have some story strength, I think that would be great too.
I agree.
What if the league was an online thing?
Oh hell no, I would
Then
not win.
I
would not win.
I think you could do that just out of just logistics. Because how can you say you can't beat a game until you get like the Pokemon League and you got to beat online people who will kick your ass
Well,
no
what
matter
if the
what?
league was post-game?
I always thought that the Pokemon League, the Elite Four, the champion, was such a great like end of the game. It's like that gauntlet of like, I gotta beat all these people without going and healing and without all that stuff. I got whatever I have with me is what I got, and we just gotta do this final gauntlet and then we win. I can't see a mainline Pokemon game ending without like you being the best trainer in the region. You know what I mean?
I have a question for you guys.
Shoot.
How do you feel about them bringing back difficulty, like in Black White, like in a Black 2 and White 2?
I missed that.
I'm
Gen,
all
so
for
take it
it.
away, guys.
I'm all for it. I remember getting my ass kicked a lot in Gen 5. You really had to like pay attention, and that's one of the gens where they added a lot of Pokemon that took forever to evolve too. So that added to the difficulty. I could see it coming back. I really hope it comes back because people can't stand. And I know Treehouse, you loved Sun and Moon, right? You said before. The beginning of that game is dreadful. I'm sorry. The hand holding throughout that entire first island is like I wanted to shoot my brains out playing that game. It's just so slow and it stops you at every point. This beats this. Okay, let's play the game. You have options in other games to like get through the trainer school and pass it. But Sword and Shield, for some reason, even though it tells you on the side what's super effective to what, let's go through all the trainer types. Let's go.
Tell them how you really feel.
This is why we have David on the podcast. He doesn't lie.
Right. I give my flat out opinions. This is what I say. All right. Whatever comes up here comes out here. And like I said, that hand holdiness, that like, it's telling you where to go and telling you what to do. That would be so against an open world thing, you know? If you're going into an open world generation, you can't have everything being told to you. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's also just a good example of how much Game Freak has changed in the past 5 years too, right? Because who fucking remembers that sick ass Rapidash you saw at the beginning of Arceus, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go up to it, and it's like level like 45, and you're like, I'm fucked, like, and you get out of there, right? So it's like,
adios.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I think I hope they get away from the hand holdiness they did all those years ago, because I didn't feel that in Arceus. I don't think they're ever going to do a difficulty mode in Pokemon, because I forget the game company, but they went to Japan and they had like a personal, like quick, fast, like 100-question interview with Junichi Masuda and the other director. Yeah, and they were like, would you ever think about doing like difficulty mode? He was like, no, like just straight up no, we're not doing that. So I don't think it's ever going to come. But I do like how they implemented difficulty without just picking one option. You know, I think it makes it more it gives more of an open world than just like, oh yeah, pick and choose. So
right, you can make it as difficult as you want it to be.
Right, exactly. So I don't know. I think if you look at it like that, then maybe like people can find ways to make shit difficult. Trust me. But
using only me.
Nuzlocke, baby. But yeah.
I think every video game should have like pro codes like Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes. Genius idea. Customize your difficulty.
Like you beat the game normally, and then you have the option to play it again, but you have like a pro code like equivalent to where you can go through the game with a bunch of restrictions.
Yeah, you could this way like Nuzlocke could actually be functional in the game. Instead of like having to go by the honor system, you can just like check off all the pro codes, like Pokemon is no longer usable after it faints. Can only catch one Pokemon, the first Pokemon you see in every region. You know, it'd be kind of cool if you could hit those little check boxes, at least on your second lap.
I fucking love that.
Yeah, me too. That's a great idea.
Right.
I doubt they're gonna do that only because they have that whole like these are animals killing each other, and then you make it actually in the game. You'd have all those freaking groups going freaking crazy with that shit. You know, if you're killing animals,
maybe one die, but it'll like get sent to you. It'll get sent to your box, and you can't touch it. Or something. Or it gets sent to like what's the thing? Arceus where all your Pokemon stay at?
Farm,
ranch, or something.
Yeah,
ranch,
they go there.
By the way, I love that for all of Pokemon's advances in technology, they were far less cruel to Pokemon when they were scared shitless of them. They were like, oh, let's lock them in the computer. They're like, no, let's give them a farm and play with friends and free roam. Right. But then once they got them in control, it's like, throw them in the computer. It'll be
True.
fine.
Like they're kicking me out of the town, but they have all these. Oh, they have my Pokemon staying here across the land. Like,
Yo, let me tell you something. That walk of shame in Legends
hard.
was one of
It
my
hit.
favorite moments in the whole series ever. It was one of the few times the series actually legitimately made me like kind of feel anything. You know, I felt
Yeah.
that shame. You're walking and you see those speech bubbles. You don't want to read them. You want to pretend you don't see them, but they're all talking shit about you on your way out. Like, we should have
Yeah.
known about this outsider. More of that, please. More of
I,
like the
I liked how
character-
suspense. Yeah.
Yeah, and the character having to deal with something difficult. You know? Instead of, hey, like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, you're that kid who just always wins. Pesky brat, get out of the way. Here's my
Get
seconds.
the fuck out.
Like,
They did that in Gen 5 a lot too. That was one thing. The character like interactions in Gen 5, I think Landy, you would really enjoy, and I think you should like get invested into those games because that they have those moral quandaries. They have like, is it okay for us to own Pokemon? Or it kind of loses it by the end, but they ask those questions.
I got some
It's
Thanos
solid,
shit. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. It gets
Interesting.
solid there. I've been telling you to check that one out.
Dave, I actually replayed Pokemon Black and White when you know what happened in the world, and
Mhm.
there were some times where I was agreeing with N, and I was like,
Yeah.
maybe, you know, because now that like, because the last time I played it before, I was like a teenager, but now I was like, this man's got some points. So yeah,
When
maybe
you actually
if they
read
did
the
bring that
dialogue.
stuff, yeah. I'm like, I was doing shit wrong as a kid.
I like
But,
to play that game someday too.
Hey, through
great.
all this speech, but then once you really read it, it's like, whoa,
Yeah,
okay,
right. It's like maybe N
Maybe
should-
it's been wrong the entire time.
yeah. Exactly. It's like, damn, my parents would agree with that with N. You know, they don't want Pokemon fighting.
Maybe the church was right all along.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have brought my Game Boy to my communion. But you know, something like this is just cool stuff to see because, like, I can't remember the last time I saw so much optimism surrounding Pokemon. Like, it's really been
Oh, yeah.
a long time since I've seen that. And like, I got to be honest, like I love playing Pokemon, but I'm not sure I'd call it one of my quote unquote favorites. But like, Pokemon was the beginning of me loving RPGs. And that's not anything I'm going to forget anytime soon. You know, like, no matter what, this series is always going to be special to me simply for just introducing me to this genre. It's just, you know, no matter how old you get, Pokemon's always going to be something special. And to see it actually have its fan base feeling optimistic is so encouraging to keep coming back,
Refreshing.
as opposed to like, oh, signing up for another generation that Twitter's going to hate. You know, now it's like, oh my God, wait a minute. This seems like a celebration now. You know?
Love to
Right.
see it.
Love to see it.
Been so negative for so long.
Oh yeah, and you could hear like, and I guess since Gen 6, people have been like, ugh, Pokemon, everyone, it looks terrible, they didn't do this right, they didn't do that. Since I guess January of this year, it's just they did like a total 180, you know?
They did.
I don't think that BDSP was the greatest thing, but to follow that up
Same.
with Arceus is like, whoa.
And say it's real,
okay.
BDSP is the one they outsourced, you know?
Yeah.
Like the ones that they took upon themselves, like absolutely crushed it.
People kind of forget, like, if you tell this to someone, like, they're gonna look at you fucking weird. But Gamefreak used to be the company to push consoles to their limit, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
look at Black 2 and White 2. That came out right when the 3DS came out. And if you look at those graphics, like, I don't think it needs a remake. I think it's great. The pacing is amazing. The battles are awesome. The very end, won't spoil anything, like, post game, is probably one of the coolest fucking things in Pokemon
Those
history, I think.
pixel art, oh my God.
beautiful,
that Pixel
yeah.
art. The
It's so-
animations, they're so dynamic.
It's so good. Yeah. And I think
Oh.
it's like, you can see how, because you have to remember, Game Freak didn't think the Switch would be successful, and I don't blame them
They
at all.
thought it would
because,
bomb, dude. They were ready
Right.
to go mobile. They were ready for
And I
mobile
don't-
phones.
dude, and like you can't blame them because
No.
like if you were in their shoes,
The
you
Wii
got to
U
think
flopped.
about like what other like if Nintendo flopped, how would they make money? And it's like they still got obviously the franchise with plushes and merch and stuff, but like have mobile games because it's so big in Japan, so you can't blame them
No,
at
not
all. But now that they're, I'm sure it feels good to like know that your game is selling well on upcoming maybe one of Nintendo's best-selling consoles, like maybe at one point going to be the best.
It
But I'm
will
sure
be.
that gives them inspiration to like, push the limit of the Switch too,
Didn't
yeah.
Gold and Silver didn't Soul and Shield outsell Gold and Silver?
I think
I
so.
think it did.
I'll pull it. I'll
Which is
pull
crazy
it up.
because Gold and Silver was like the height of Pokemania.
It was. It
Okay,
absolutely
maybe.
was.
I would say so. I mean, but even to go into your point a little bit more, Tree, like, think about Pokemon Stadium. You want to talk about pushing consoles to that limit. Not only were the graphics considered great for the time, but guys,
They
you
were.
used to take your cartridge and plug it into like a contraption that went into your N64 controller, and it uploaded all your data. Like, I
The
remember
transfer
being,
pack.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I dude, back I don't think I ever we had a Game Boy. I played my Pokemon games for the transfer pack. My yellow, my red. I played
Dude,
all
uh-huh.
for the transfer pack.
And it was great seeing it on TV. And then they had like the little like surround the borders. that
No,
were,
those
like,
borders were so cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got something pulled up here. As of late May 2021, Pokemon Sword and Shield has sold 21 million. Gold and Silver has sold 23 million. So if it sold 2 million copies in the last year, which
It-
is incredibly
it's past-
possible, then yeah, it surpassed Gold
probably
and Silver.
sold
Red and Blue is sitting at 31 million. That's going to be tough to beat.
I don't
Yeah.
know if that's ever going to happen.
That's
but,
going to
I
be
mean,
tough to beat.
if we're this deep in the Swix, it's very possible that Scarlet and Violet could catch up to Red and Blue. Because Soul and
I
Shield
don't
came out
think
near the
anything
start.
will ever catch that Red and Blue. That was such lightning in a bottle
It was.
that
Yeah.
I can't see anything.
But
Everyone,
they're still milking that Gen 1 cow. Still, and honestly,
Forever.
I still want to drink the milk.
who doesn't want to see Gengar in another game?
Who doesn't
Who
want
doesn't
to?
want to see?
Who doesn't want to ride a Charizard? Who doesn't love Big Pika?
Yourself a Dragonite.
Yeah,
Big
tell me
Pikachu.
who doesn't. I'll fight them. Here. Where
That-
are they?
Definitely got to get yourselves
Pulling
a
out that Kingdom
Dragonite.
Key.
Kingdom Key.
Well,
I will say, like, I dreamed of something about Arceus right when Coliseum came out. Because, like, as a kid, like, I still think this is just my opinion, whatever. I think Wes has the coolest Pokemon trainer design ever. Right. And like I
From
remember that
Coliseum.
yeah, in Pokemon Coliseum. And like that it was really funny because I told it to you, Landon, and you were like, I was saying the same thing to Charlotte. It's like the Pokemon icon select menu gives me big Coliseum vibes. Like there were so
Definitely.
many cool things about that game that were way ahead of its time, even like the battle mechanics. So I'm so
Can you
glad to
believe it
see.
only got one sequel? Like, come on.
I know, and XD wasn't
Yeah.
that great. I didn't like it that much.
I didn't. It wasn't as good as.
I don't think I ever made
No.
my way to playing it, honestly.
You didn't miss
I
much.
played a little Coliseum. I never played XD, but I kind of want to get a GameCube and kind of find a way to play those this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude, I had the Pokemon Coliseum bonus disc where you could get Jirachi.
I got that off
Oh,
eBay.
that's
I
awesome.
got
Did you
my
really?
my
Nice.
Jirachi's in my Sword and Shield. game
That's
now.
so sick.
I go.
Mine's from eBay.
Treehouse,
sorry.
everything in your life is from eBay and Etsy. Like literally from the clothes on your back to the shit in your backdrop, it's all eBay and Etsy.
I think I have my mom get it from eBay for me. The Jirachi disc.
And it comes, that disc also comes with like a little clip of, I think it was like the Deoxys movie, because that wasn't released yet at the time. So you got like a special
Yeah,
feature
it
of
was
it.
that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was really cool. I remember I used to watch that all the time. It's like with
That
May and
Jirachi
Max.
was awesome. Yeah,
It was good.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the anime. Personally, I think Journeys is some of the best Pokemon anime's been in a very long time.
I agree. The Journeys and Master Journeys arc is my favorite arc in the entire anime.
It's incredible. You got the catching and you got the battling, and the battles. Oh my!
There's some good battles.
Bro, did you see the
Dragonite versus Dragonite?
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
It was like some artist. So I don't know if you guys know the company Uniqlo, right? They're like mainly in Japan, but they're like limited shops here. Like when I was back in Virginia, the closest one was all the way in DC. So they had an artist competition for Pokemon, right? So one of the very first ones they did, they had 3 top place winners, and the person who got in first place got booted because he got caught stealing work. The second person won, but then they were cheating too. They stole shit and they got knocked off. And then the third person also got caught cheating, and they knocked their art off, which is kind of crazy. So eventually someone won, and they had this, the artist did these Pokemon designs with like almost old sculptures with like kind of dents in them. And that same artist actually is working with the very first animators of the Indigo League. And they did a short little promotional clip that the Pokemon Company uploaded just the other week. And the animation is so good. So it's Ash versing the literal artist, and you can see like Misty and Brock in the stands. It is honestly, if they brought like that anime style back, it would be amazing. Like, it is so cool. I can send you guys the link if you haven't seen it.
Please do.
It's with Celebi, actually, too. Like, Celebi gets in the middle of their battle and they travel back in time, and there's like, it's to be continued. So I guess they're going to keep doing these short clips. I don't know how long.
That'd be cool.
But it's really sick.
It's interesting, right? Because I feel like, I know for me, I don't know what the case for you guys is, but for me, I saw the show before I ever played the games.
Same.
Me too.
I did cards, so then games.
Cards, show, then games. I was like show, games, then cards.
Yeah, I watched the show first, 100%.
Wow. See, I was with the games. Like, my first game was Pokemon Yellow, and then, I got like Gold and Silver, and then Ruby and Sapphire, and that's Ruby and Sapphire Gen 3 is when I started to watch the anime. And I remember
the advanced generation.
Dude, I remember, check this out. I remember Cartoon Network had a day where they were like, we're going to be playing every single episode of Pokemon. And I was like, I remember I only saw a couple episodes of the Indigo League. And as a kid, I was like, oh, that generation's way better than this fucking anime. So like, I remember my mom was just like, you got to do your homework. And I'd quietly turn on the TV, and I saw Gen 1 anime for the first time. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, my mind is being blown.
Speaking of Gen 1.
I feel like Advanced better personally.
Holds up.
Really?
Which one did you say?
I like Advanced better than original personally.
I liked when they got to like the battle frontier. I think that was better than, but like him and Hoenn was just, I feel like his Pokemon just sucked.
Yeah, you have a good team. I like the Advanced Battle theme song. That's my favorite theme song in the entire series.
I like the Advanced Battle. Yeah.
Whoa, I'm unbeatable. Absolute banger.
Gen 1, like no one was nice, and I love that. Like, I remember it was like starting to get into Gen 4, and it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a great time. And like, I was like, I want like Ash roasting Misty again. Like, I want them like roasting each other, like being mean.
Dude, when I was a kid, that Sabrina episode creeped me the fuck out, man. When she actually turned them into dolls, and she was like a giant, like bouncing the ball and shit, and just like, it was just unsettling. I remember even as a kid, like feeling that way, and I feel like everything. Go ahead.
And we went through that scenario. It was still creepy as hell.
Yeah. What is it?
So
Ash like met Sabrina's dad on a bench, and he was like, oh, you're the good-for-nothing father that left her daughter? Or something like that. He's like, ah! And I was like, wow! Like, they actually did that.
They went there.
Crazy.
I know.
Hey, Treehouse, have you mentioned dabbing a Poe. Did you You said it was like all happy and stuff. Is that what you said?
I remember. I need to rewatch it, but I remember there were a couple episodes. Like I heard the rival was like really like maybe the best rivals from the anime.
Yeah,
Diamond and Pearl
right?
is the best anime in my opinion.
Really?
It had some
100%, yeah.
really some good antagonists in that.
I need to rewatch it because
I think
remember
you should watch that. It's not all happy like that. It's
maybe it was just the episode or something.
It's probably
I can't remember.
It was probably the episode.
It probably was. I need to check it out. I just know like Gen 1, they just like they get real very fast. And like Misty like gets out like a cross like like against Ghastly and stuff
episode.
like that. Right.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I
stuff
forgot
like
about
that. So
The,
I was like,
the SS Anne blows up and they get stranded.
they're about
on
to
an
eat.
island.
I retweeted an episode or a part of that episode the other day when they're all looking at Magikarp because they're so hungry and they're gonna fucking eat it. And I remember James is just like, he's like, this worthless nothing Magikarp, and like kicks it, and then he evolves into a Gyarados. He's like, I'm your master, your leader, and it's like, and they start running away, and I'm like, that's so good, dude. Like that is so perfect.
I saw a clip. I can't remember what it was, but like it's a scenario where it's like May and Jesse versus Ash and James, and Jesse's like, "Come on, May, don't you want to show these boys that like women are tougher?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'd love to knock Ash down a peg." And then James just goes, "Let's send these wenches back to the Dark Ages where they belong." And she's like,
it's crazy. They really said some. I did like there. There was one episode where I thought it would be like when we were talking about Gen 9 and going to school and stuff like that. I remember there was an episode where they all had an exam and they actually were given random Pokemon and then they would have to fight somebody and then that would test their skill of a trainer. Like I would love that to come back in some type of game. And I remember they if you guys can remember it, but it was they were like, who's this Pokemon? And it was like round and it looked like a Voltorb. And then it like scaled down to face the front of a Pokemon. They're like, nope, it's Jigglypuff. And they're like, yeah. So I would love some kind of stuff like that in the future. Or even like an idea of that test level for an anime would be cool again.
I just think there's
Maybe
like
that's what
anything they can do
the
at this
history
point.
one will be.
Exactly. Bless Pokemon.
With the history.
It's been a little wild. So look, we've mostly talked about Gen 9 and we touched on their anime. Was there anything else in Pokemon Day that stood out to you guys that you maybe wanted to touch on?
So on Instagram, they posted these these artworks of like the different gen in that style, and some of the artwork on there was freaking phenomenal. Definitely look that up.
It's beautiful.
Like you got to see Red with the 3 different starters and Professor Oak's in the background.
Those are so cool. I've seen.
Yeah,
some
the
of
red
those.
Gyarados for Gen 2. Like, those were great.
So I don't know how they would do it, but I would definitely pay money to play Pokemon Masters on my Switch. Because right now I don't want to play a game on my phone. Like I'm just not built like that. Like respect the people who are, but like if they put that on there, because the trainer designs look amazing. Like I love the new costumes they do for like even the Pokemon, like Cynthia just looks like they did a different costume for her. And like some of these different designs, it's like I want to see those like on my monitor and play, because some of the gameplay looked really fun too. I played it like once or twice. But if they could
battling for me, it just was never mine.
Right. But I just like I like hearing all the trainers I grew up with like have a voice actor or actress.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's
I like how they
cool.
do that.
That. Exactly. Like you can tell they went all out for that. I don't know how long. I mean, it's
they went all Lori.
Yeah, it went all Lori, and I was like, I like that a lot. Like, give me some of that on my Switch, please. So.
Well, Tree, I know you're a big proponent for Detective Pikachu. When that trailer hit and you had like the officer kind of like searching around, did you think that's what we were getting? Is that where your head was at?
We both did.
Yeah. Oh, hell
both of you?
Definitely.
Yes.
One thing, okay, I could just be going crazy, which I probably am, but that looked like a lot like the, because like when the door was just like opening up and there was light coming out and it kind of looked like he traveled into a new world. It looked like the Gen 5 sub trainer to me. Like the outfit looked just like it. And I was like, oh my gosh, are there gonna be like like that's the vibe I got, but I did think it was Detective Pikachu too, because they've been going off of it for so long. But maybe a little bit after Gen 9 releases, or maybe even before. You never know. Like we got Mystery Dungeon randomly. Like we're getting all these app
Let's
games
get another
randomly.
Pokemon Ranger.
Let's get a Pokepok remake.
Oh
Guys,
my gosh.
guys, what we really need is another Hey You Pikachu. I've been waiting for Hey You Pikachu
Now-
2 for a long time. I understand
was
it's a
the
niche
first
market.
That was the first game I've ever played that made me like rage quit and rage out.
I can just see you like, Pikachu, the apple! Pikachu!
That's amazing.
I go flip the fuck out.
I was so. That game was the biggest disappointment ever.
But
My
you know
gosh.
what? You know what wasn't a disappointment? It was Pokemon Channel. Either of you play Pokemon Channel?
I never played Channel.
I wanted to, but I didn't.
Channel was actually pretty fun, where it's like, this is a Pokemon game, but it's not. There's just a bunch of fun mini games that are kind of Pokemon-ish. And then you had Pikachu, like you had like, it was kind of weird. You had like either like a bedroom with Pikachu, or you had like an apartment with Pikachu, and he would just like run around your room. It was very obscure, but I remember actually enjoying it.
I'm getting a GameCube. You recommend it?
I'm not saying a grown man would enjoy it.
Okay.
Like, if you can dig out your inner child, I think you could have a lot of fun.
You know what that does make me think of though? Like how cool would it be to have some type of like, Switch VR Pokemon room, right? They've already done VR stuff with the Switch. Have you seen it? You put it in that like Nintendo, it's like that fucking cardboard or whatever they did. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not
that's
joking. What was it called
I have to
again?
be honest with you, I hate to interrupt where you're going with this, but every time I
please.
see the cardboard VR headset from Nintendo, I really feel like they're just mocking Sony's VR headset. Like, oh, you think you're so cool? You made some goggles? We make it out of cardboard.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it is it's like you paid like I never paid for it, but you paid like $70 for fucking cardboard.
Neither did I refused. It looked so dumb.
It's like I'll pay a lot for some stupid Nintendo shit, but I won't go that far.
Me too. I can shill pretty hard. I can shill
Right,
pretty hard,
same.
but you won't get me shilling for cardboard.
What? Or the Mario Kart thing, the VR Mario Kart. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, with the little
the
action
augmented
figures,
one where you
like
put it on
little
the
action
floor.
cars that actually go around.
Yeah.
I want like a Mario drone.
Like a
like
live
a
Mario-
fucking flying
Oh, a
drone.
Okay. I thought
Yeah,
you wanted
but,
like a Mario robot to follow you around your house.
Oh hell no.
Now that's
No, you
dystopian.
just want to fly it up to a window while
It's a
someone's,
me,
like,
a Mario.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Wahoo.
Yeah. But I think like a Pokemon VR would be kind of cool or something like that. Like,
Bro, I'm
take it a
sorry.
step
I'm
further.
sorry. You just got HD graphics. You're not getting VR. You're not getting it in your lifetime. Okay?
Very, very, very.
But did you see the beginning of the presents with like the 4K Pikachu that they did? They had the Pikachu on the right and it was like
Yes,
moving
that
up
was
and
pretty
down.
Cool.
That was
I
pretty.
didn't see that.
Honestly, no,
Yeah.
no. I take it back. When Nintendo opens these theme parks, only a matter of time
There
before
we
there's some
go.
sort of like VR
Yeah,
Pokemon experience.
100%.
I think you're
Right.
right about that. But listen, we are coming up on an hour and 20 minutes, and I'm not saying we need to wrap up by any means, but I do want to get to some of the people in the chat who throughout the podcast have either dropped what I think are interesting comments or interesting questions. Let's start here with the dude who, when talking about the character models in the Gen 9, did mention that there's supposed to be a lot of customization, which can like soften the blow if you didn't think they look the greatest. Twilight Blaze says they want the catching mechanic from Legends to carry over into Gen 9. How do you guys feel about that?
I would love it.
love
I
that.
don't think it's happening.
I also one thing I would want to comment on though is like I feel like Legends made it too easy to catch legendaries. Like most of legendaries I
agree.
caught with like 1 or 2 Ultra Balls. I don't like that. I like that. I like that sweaty like 20 to 50 like
Sweaty.
ball battle. Yeah.
The alphas were harder to catch in
Oh,
RPG.
Yeah,
yeah.
they were the
Yeah.
alphas were hard to catch.
100%. I mean, it would be great because I feel like the catching mechanic kind of goes hand in hand with the battling mechanic, right?
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
kind of work together in that like open world scene. So, I mean, like they can do whatever the fuck they want to the story, but I want them to keep that. I don't know if they will.
I agree.
But
I don't think they are. I think there was like language in one of those sites that was like, you got to throw out your Pokemon to catch another Pokemon or something like that. And I don't think they're going to be able to do the fly ball or the leaden ball or whatever
Man.
those things.
But it's
Yeah.
so
Even though
much fun.
that was like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Like, I had such a great time with that.
I'd be hyped if even if like half the mechanic made its way over, I'd still be pretty hyped about that. Like even if it's an expansive wild area, like compared to Gen 8, I think that would be enough to at least satisfy me. So shout out to the dude and Twilight Blaze, a sage of the lodge, ladies and gentlemen, for that question. Twilight Blaze also says Gen 6 was too short. I hope we have a Kalos revisit in Gen 9. France is right there next to Spain. You were
DLC
talking about
would
that
be
earlier,
cool.
What
yeah.
are you talking about? Yeah.
I wouldn't want that in like the main game, right? But I
Me
think it'd be
either.
great DLC or something.
Yeah.
Like take a train around Europe, you know?
That could be interesting. You know, I really do miss, like, I think they got the post game right the second time when they did go like gold and silver. Like when I remember being a kid and you beat the game and then it's like, oh look, there's Gen 1, go have a blast. Do you think they'll ever do something like that again, where it's like you beat a game and it's like, hey, guess what? You're gonna go run around that other region now, have a fun time.
I think they only did that with Gen 2 because it was supposed to be the end of Pokemon. Like everyone assumed that was going to be the last game.
Like,
And
come
even
on.
then,
Sorry, that's such
it was,
crackhead
like,
thinking
so
by
scaled
Gamefreak.
back.
You just sold 30 million copies of Red and Blue. You thought you were done?
yeah,
You know
look-
who helped with that Gen 1 like stuff in Pokemon
What's
like
that?
Gold and Silver? Satoru Iwata
Really?
helped a lot to do that. Yeah. He was the one who really helped because it was so much space. It was so much to put
Yeah.
in the cartridge.
Yeah,
He
no,
helped.
it's supposed to be pretty mind-blowing what they went through, like the hoops they jumped through to compress all
Back
of that
then.
data into
Yep.
one
Yeah.
game.
The original Pokemon game almost didn't happen because Junichi Masuda's computer crashed like 7 times. And if you didn't get it fixed one extra time, there may be no Pokemon.
Yeah, it could have just
So
been
it's like-
fried and game over.
exactly. Right.
Back up your shit, guys. I just back up your shit. It's easy. Get a
Sorry,
flash drive.
guys.
Get a flash drive.
especially now.
But I think DLC, I mean, I would love to see that kind of thing again, like go to other regions, you know? Like I thought for
100%.
BDSP, I thought like there'd be some, I mean, this was just me like dreaming, right? Like what if we got, it's going to be crazy, but what if we went like back to Johto for a little bit after
Yeah,
BDSP?
like the Sinjo ruins or whatever.
Right, or something. Like I think that'd be really cool.
They really are. And if you look at the Pokemon map, they're right next to each other.
Hmm.
So, what is it? Johto is like right south of, right? Something like that.
I think so. Do they have like a like world map of all like the gens on one map?
I think somewhere, like you could go onto like Cerebi
Okay.
or like
That'd be cool to see.
Bulbapedia, and they'll give you a world map.
I feel you. All right. Twilight Blaze says next Legends game is for sure going to be Legends. Correct me if I'm saying this wrong, guys. Kyurem. Who doesn't want to see the
Sure.
original dragon? Kyurem.
That would be cool. I'd be pumped for that.
What gen
but
is that?
Gen
5.
5.
Gen
It'll kind
5.
of make sense if I mean Gen 5 remakes are what would be next. So that would make sense if they revisit Kyurem and talk about the original dragon.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
I mean, who doesn't love dragon Pokemon?
Yeah. Although we haven't seen Johto in a very long time.
You want that
we
Let's
really
Go
have
Johto?
not.
Is that what you want?
I kind of do.
I kind of did too.
I would take a Let's
I
Go
want
Johto.
to see it.
I would too.
Just make it work on the fucking Pro Controller, please, because I can't do
Yes.
it again.
Yes.
I can't
Oh,
do the
yeah.
fucking
No,
Pokeball.
no,
I can't do the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, I'd agree with
Joy-Con
that.
too. It was the one, like you were changing the channel on your remote control.
Like when they revealed the details for BDSP, like for controllers, me and my cousin were like, "Thank God!" Like, like no more Joy-Con. But
Hell yeah. Now, Nastalgic over on YouTube says, "This is why I quit the Pokemon series. The formula of Gym, Elite Four, and Catch 'em All just got so boring." I think that came up around the time you were talking about Sun and Moon Tree and how, like, you were really fond of them trying to move away from that gym formula. And, you know, we discussed it, but it looks like it may happen here in Gen 9. They may do something to mix that up. But I think that would do something to mix it up for legacy players and bring some old people back. I mean, isn't that what made, like, we all know a friend who hasn't played Pokemon forever and bought, you know, Legends. Isn't that the same idea that kind of brought them back? Was it the formula was different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was because the formula was advertised as being drastically different, and I think that's just
Like,
something what
way
everyone
different.
wanted, right? Like,
Yeah.
because even if you like hate Sun and Moon, like I really respected the fact they like tried something different, even if it was just like one thing, like the gyms. So
Yeah. It was just, to me, it was just the hand-holdy nonsense with Gen 7. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed a lot of the fights were difficult. Instead of the gyms with the kahunas and stuff, that was all like great.
I have a question though. I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but because I want to make sure I get the wording right. But when they first had the presents for Arceus, the person who was presenting, did he say this is the new direction of the mainline games, or there was some wording he said?
Like, so like a
I
bold
thought he
new
did say
direction for the
something like that.
series, I think is what he
Okay.
said.
That's very vague between like the series just for this game or the series like going forward, you know? Like I'm not exactly sure.
Dude, I'm just the guy where it's like if anything is translated, there's always just a giant grain of salt sitting on it. Like anything.
Right.
You know, you never know what gets lost in the translation. Want to give a major
Definitely.
shout out to PB and Jilly who dropped in with a little bit of lurk and a little bit of love. Big shout out to her. She's Sage of the Lodge and a member of the Mosey Gang, and you know she's been supporting this nonsense of mine for a very long time. So everyone can blame her for me still being around. Pawn Star says, "Nice glasses, David," which very much served. He says he misses
Takes
us.
it off, has 3 eyes.
Oh! He's the legendary Pokemon of Scarlet and Violet, like the Triclops.
I was telling someone today, someone asked me, they're like, if you could have a legendary, what would it be? Like if you just made one up. And in my head, I was like, I don't think we have a mattress Pokemon. I would love a legendary mattress Pokemon. Like just some crazy shit like that.
What
like,
type? What's the type?
Oh, Ghost, 100%. A Ghost legendary
Ghost
mattress Pokemon. It's like just that kind of screams Pokemon too. Like
Ghost
It evolves.
like we got a
from
teapot.
ghosts
Now we just
to-
need a mattress.
You guys still hear me?
We did get it.
Yes, we
Yes,
still
I
hear
can.
you.
Okay. I had my mic on OBS. I don't know if it's like double audio or not.
No,
No,
it's good.
you're all
from what I
set.
can
You were
hear.
coming through crisp, so all good
Okay.
on our
I don't
end.
know what the podcast is like, but okay. Thanks.
Sounds to me like you're coming in just fine.
Okay, good.
Charlotte, best mod in the game, says Pokemon Channel is incredibly underrated. She's so funny. She tells me stories when she was younger. She used to wake up early before school to play some Pokemon Channel. Isn't that
That's so
Aw.
awesome. Oh my gosh.
I remember I used to do that with the original Smash Brothers on N64. Just because it was a game that like I just wasn't sure what I was looking at until I played it for a long time. Like the idea something like that could exist.
Did y'all ever play Brawl at all when you were young?
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the time.
Dude,
Yeah.
the starting screen of Brawl was so fucking loud. Yeah, it's like I'd be up at 1 a.m. and I would like turn the TV on and turn my Switch and be like, and I'm like, oh shit! Like it'd be
I'm so
everywhere.
sad. I have a selfie of myself getting ball at Lonks, and I lost the phone. And like I was on MySpace, but, like MySpace deleted like all the like everything. So like that phone was gone forever. I was like in like this. I was in like this blue coat, holding melee, holding Brawl. Like like that.
Oh,
Well, I'll say I
No,
take
fuck
great
fraud.
comfort
They
in
introduced
MySpace wiping
tripping.
their server. I don't know about you, Lance. I did a lot of
I wonder what
cringy
Tom
shit on
does.
MySpace when I was young.
dude,
Me
in middle
too.
school,
Oh, me too.
I
Yeah.
had the Austin Powers theme playing on my.
That's
on
so
my,
you. That's so you, dude.
That-
It's such a good song.
I feel
That's
like
the Treehouse
was it your
thing.
alarm clock too?
No, that was the
It's a
Curb
little-
theme.
The curb thing. Okay.
You know who wrote that Austin Powers music?
Who?
Yeah.
Jones. Who
Wait, did you say
also-
Quincy Jones?
Yeah. Who also produced all of Michael Jackson's music.
Wow.
I did not
Yeah.
know that.
Yep.
Damn.
How
Catchy
crazy is
tune.
that? He conducted a whole orchestra. Great
Wow.
fucking song. Great
know that.
fucking song.
It's catchy. I mean, I haven't seen an Austin Powers movie in almost 10 years, but that song never left my head.
What? I watch those movies like once a year. I
I can tell.
the fuck up watching those movies. Any like I sit and crack up about with Austin Powers on top of Mini Me's shoulders, walking down the hallway like the shit like that to this day has me crying.
Sir,
Those
$1
were
million
great.
isn't a lot of money.
It's a lot of-
Really?
$1 billion.
Yeah. It's like what is it? Like the US government was laughing at him when he said $1 million. And they're like, oh,
We print that in a day.
Last
Right.
last
Our company
random
makes that in a day.
last random thing. There's actually a new Ford commercial with some of the cast from Austin Powers.
Really?
And they're all about electric
It was
cars, and they're just like, Dr. Evil, like you need to make these cars
okay,
like
okay.
electric. And he's like, do I look like the good guy to you? and they're like, but if you get rid of like if you make them number one, then like you can destroy him and then be number one, and that looks good for you. He goes, yes, and then you hear like, ba-da-da, ba-da. Like it's really good. It's a great commercial. I think they played it for the Super Bowl or something like
It was
that.
a Super Bowl commercial. I think.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a Super Bowl commercial.
Sounds like they're
Everyone's
making
watching it.
another movie to me. But
They said,
I hope so. Look, those movies, like I said, to this day, still crack me the fuck up. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach. Come on. It's just
What
so
the
great.
world needs now is love. Yeah, dude, that's another one. Never left my head.
my god.
Never
I remember
left.
when I poked my gold Mew from Celebrations. I was like, I love gold. I wasn't. It was a lot
I
more
love
loudly
gold.
obnoxious than that, but yeah.
Did you guys know that in the DLC of Pokemon Sword and Shield, you face that Queen Pokemon and it says like behave or something like that, and it's a reference to Austin Powers. They have an Austin Powers reference.
Oh, behave,
Really?
baby.
Yeah,
That's
they put that in
incredible.
there, and it's really good.
Behave.
You
Yeah,
know,
it was something like that.
Treehouse, I gotta hand it to you. I thought this podcast flew off the Pokemon rails, but you somehow,
I got you.
you
I
somehow
got you.
just pulled us
You did
right
it.
back on.
I got you.
I did not see
The
that
king
coming.
of segues.
That was
I
impressive.
got you.
That
I
was
got you.
impressive. But I guess maybe Austin Powers aside, is there anything left about Pokemon Day that any of you wanted to discuss?
Everyone's favorite generation. I would like to just put that out there. What gave everyone their best Pokemon experience?
Gen 2,
Johto.
baby.
Johto.
Gen 2, Johto with Lands.
It's weird because I don't really think about like a favorite gen. Like I just like all of Pokemon together, right? Like I never like pick
Cop
and choose,
out.
but
Yeah, there's a cop out.
Cop out.
But I remember-
Cop out.
Cop out.
listen, I'm just being
Cop out.
honest. I'm just being honest, all right?
Fake fan.
Honestly,
just
cop
telling
out,
you.
bro.
You hear this, Pika? You hear this
Ca-
shit?
casual-
You hear this shit?
Casual Pikachu
Casual,
fan.
casual. Definitely true.
Carried.
Uh,
Carried. Carried Ness.
Okay, you're gonna hate me for this, Lance, but I remember I went back home like 2 years ago and I played Black and White, and then I found
You
my
hack it?
Diamond and Pearl copies, and one of my copies, my Diamond version, I had 999 hours, and on the other one, I had like
That's
like
a lot of time to hack.
like 605. And on one of the copies, I had all the hacked Pokemon, and I was
Of course you fucking did. I knew it. Of course you fucking did.
If you look at my home account, I paid like $20. Like during that summer, that infamous summer of 2020, I got so bored. I got every single shiny gen. I ordered it in a box.
I'm glad you lost in Megas. I'm so glad you just did it.
I was showing my beautiful hard-earned collection today on my stream. No, but yeah, I don't know. I think I had a really good time with Gen 4 because I got to bring like all the other generations back, and I thought,
Me too.
like something about Cynthia. I was just like, I'd get a heart race because I'd be like, I'm gonna die.
Waifu.
Oh, that or waifu, yeah.
The waifu.
The waifu, barefoot waifu. But
And the fact that you got the gold and silver remakes in that same generation. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go completely
that's
past what you just said.
no, rest in peace, Etika. He would say that all the time. But yeah, I really want to replay Heart Gold and Soul Silver because I bought it, but then like my mom's car blew up with the game in it. So
Oh no.
yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah,
even
it
about
was-
your mom's car, dude. It was about keeping you from playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And you're letting the bad guys win every day you don't.
I actually called the insurance company when I was like in fucking high school, and I was like, "Can I get money for a new DS?" And they're like, "No, you can't."
Fucking motherfuckers.
Was it insured, sir? No. I'm gonna just hang up. They don't
No.
even say anything.
It was funny, but yeah, I really like. I think I spent the most time in Gen 4 while also like thinking about all the other ones.
I
'Cause
love the original. I love the original Diamond and Pearl too.
it's so good. The music
Platinum
holds
is
up.
fucking amazing. Platinum is
Mhm.
like one of the best Pokemon games ever made. That's one I played in that infamous summer. I beat
Mhm.
the whole thing. I went into the Battle Frontier, which God, please bring that back. Just
Oh,
so
yeah.
much fun.
Did Platinum fix like the HP speed and stuff like that from Diamond and Pearl?
It was definitely better,
Okay.
and the movement speed and like the surf speed definitely improved too.
Okay.
That's
Because I
good.
tried
Surfing in Diamond and Pearl is just like, it's so slow. Everything in those games is so slow.
the HP is like really bad.
Mhm.
But I didn't know if they fixed it in Platinum or not. I still need like I need to play Platinum.
Platinum is phenomenal.
Well, that's your
Probably
favorite,
my
Dave? Gen
favorite.
4 Platinum?
Yeah. Platinum just did it for me. It took, and I played so much Diamond. I'm in that same boat where I put hundreds of hours into like Diamond, and then when I got Platinum, it was like, all right, this is just that much better.
Mhm.
It's just one of those things where they did that third game, and it was just such a massive improvement,
Mhm.
in my opinion, at least.
Well, even
But-
like the speed of Gen 5 is like literally like that aged like fine wine. Like it's so
Mhm.
fast and it's
So
it's so
fast.
snappy. It's just like shit, dude.
I gotta replay 5. It's been
I replayed
12
5.
years.
I just
I
gotta
gotta
play
replay
it, period.
2.
Yeah.
They're great. I would pay to watch that, Landy, because I know you would like.
Well, I'm going gen
Oh,
to
yeah.
gen on my Nuzlocke runs. I'm going gen for
Nice.
gen. We've conquered
That
one.
Gen 1 clutch was so insane too. I'll
Dude,
never
I still
forget
need to
that.
like edit that finale
Mhm.
together. That was the craziest
it's
Pokemon
amazing.
experience
That's
I've
world.
ever had.
That's world tier.
I
Yeah.
thought I would like. How did I don't even know. I just
How
gotta,
did you survive with just Vaporeon?
it was like
convinced
you
would
could
win.
run that fight back 100 times. I lose 99. Guarantee it. Okay, you run it back 100 times. I lose 99.
Oh, I want to bring up
insane.
one more thing that's kind of interesting. So, have you guys heard of the Space World demo leak from Pokemon
No.
with like all the old beta versions?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Have you seen those? Like those Pokemon? I mean, they're legit. They're basically just
they're
Dr.
actually,
Lava has an amazing website for like all Pokemon history. And some of those beta versions they brought back, like the Farfetch'd with in Sword and Shield was actually looked pretty similar to one of the betas of its evolution.
Really?
Yeah. So I want to look at those Pokemon again and be like, which one would fit in this generation, and what one will they maybe use? Like, if you guys have seen it, you know, like, I don't know. I was just thinking about that.
No, we
Just give
talked
us
about that 2
Gorochu,
weeks
for
ago.
God's sake.
Yeah.
Just give us Gorochu. That's it.
Yo, give me
Yeah,
the
I
Gorochu.
want
Give me the
Gorochu, dude.
Gorochu.
I want
Come
Gorochu.
on.
I want
How
a
do you
different
not do it at this point?
regional version of Raichu again, because Alolan Raichu is god
One of
tier.
my favorite
Awesome.
Pokemon.
One of my favorite Pokemon, too,
Pokemon.
yeah.
I love Alolan Raichu. Much better.
Right?
Much better
He's
than
riding
Kanto.
the tail, and he's got that psychic type, which is just fucking awesome.
Deadly. Dude, Psychic Electric is deadly, man. Deadly.
Mhm.
Something
They had
else.
one of the beta Pokemon were like, I swear to God, it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, and I think that's really cool. It's like,
That's
let
kind
me
of
see if
cool.
yeah,
I
it's
don't
really.
remember them specifically. I'm gonna start looking now.
It was like Urufumon and Warufu. I'll send
Really?
it in the Let me send it to the. Let me send it here real quick. I'll send it in the group chat.
Yeah, like there was a different like Politoed was in there. I think Flabebe was
Politoed.
also supposed to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Real. Huh.
Here,
My
I'll send it
goodness.
in the Zoom chat. It should pop up like as one of the first ones. But all credit to Dr. Lava, because he's like one of the best, if not the best, Pokemon historian out there.
Let me peep this.
Yeah, and there were different. For like, there were different Pichus. There was a different Tangela.
There were a lot of
Baby
baby
Tangela.
versions of Pokemon too, like of Meowth, of
Mhm.
of Growlithe, of Mr.
Goldeen,
Mime.
there was a small one.
Yeah. Bellsprout
Damn.
looked totally different.
This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh,
Politoed looks
Yeah, I
very
kind of
good
like
too.
this Katora Raitora.
I love him. I
That's kind
know.
of cool, man.
But see, like the third Pokemon right there, that looks like
Ooh.
a far-fetched evolution with like what they did.
That's sick,
in Sword and
though.
Shield. Yeah.
It looks so much better. Those of you who are watching, I got it pulled up on the screen, but it's like, these are sick, dude.
But also some
Yeah,
of them
looking
are
at
really
them.
bad too.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Porygon.
some of them
I can see why
Yeah, some of
some
them
got
are
cut.
like.
I could see why some
Right.
got cut. But wow, man.
But they're
That's
all in
something
there.
else.
A different Bellsprout, yeah. The giraffe rig too, I thought looked cooler.
I thought so too.
Actual it almost looked like cat dog, but the giraffe.
A cat dog giraffe. You gotta love it. All right, but I don't know, boys. If anything else, any other gas in the tank, any other hot takes, any other info you wanted to discuss before we wrap it up here at a very meaty hour and 45 minutes.
Miggy.
Meaty for sure. We're trying to push the 2-hour line here in the lodge, and I've got a feeling we will after
Yeah.
April 10th. If you know, you know. But
Sweet.
anything else to cover?
April 10th, ooh.
The release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. No, it's like that's the release date. But,
Totally a different side. What are people's opinions on this Batman movie coming out? Throwing it out there. We're gonna throw it out there.
Batman and Catwoman look good. I think Scarecrow looks dumb, and that's about it. I think that part of it looks cool, part of it looks weird to me. I don't know. I'll give it a shot.
I'm saying it's really good.
might have to go see it.
I think you should. I think everyone should.
Dave, weren't you going to say something before we started the podcast? I showed you that picture of like the Pokemon starters, and then there was like Sora, Donald, and Goofy. And you're going to say, you said you were like, oh, I have something to say about that.
Yeah.
all- and I didn't want to say it.
He almost made it. He almost made it.
Kind of touched on it too. Like they do look fake, but like we've seen all these like animals before. We've seen a crocodile. Crocodile is one of the coolest Pokemon. We've gotten ducks. Gold Duck is great. We've gotten cats. Why can't we get something new? Something different.
I didn't really like the Wii Cat because It looks like it reminds me of like Leafeon if it was young.
It's basically Leafeon. That's what I think. It's we need new, and I guess that Coco whatever kind of looks new, but all look derivative of some other Pokemon, and that's my biggest problem. They look like just copies of other Pokemon at this point.
What types do you think they're gonna be? I'm interested in that.
I'm going to hold my opinion on that until I see their evolutions, because I think that's where the real juice of the design might be waiting.
Mm-hmm.
They always start with just the basic type for the baseline starter. Yeah. It's always just that one type.
No, I know. Yeah,
except Bulbasaur. Except Bulbasaur's grass
except
poison.
Bulbasaur, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The best starter of all time.
Oh wait, what was his name, Landy? Your Bulbasaur and that Nuzlocke? Musashi, yes. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
The grossly overpowered Musashi for the entire game.
Who was taken down.
He was a tank.
He couldn't be stopped the whole game, and then he just gets completely flattened in those final moments.
I'll say one last thing. I'm going way to the future. I want this fire Pokemon to be fire and dragon so bad.
Me too.
I think it'd be so cool.
Yeah, it's so overdue.
It's so over. Yeah, give us something new like that.
Overpowered at this point. Maybe if they do like grass, if they do maybe a water poison and then grass fairy or something like that. You got to make it balanced.
He's the heaviest starter, so he could be like big dragon. Yeah.
Give me.
You got to make it balanced because then he wouldn't be weak to water. You know, he wouldn't be weak to the other starter, and you got to make it that rock paper scissors type thing.
I want a new evolution.
Give me Dragon Eevee. Give me Ghost Eevee. Give me one of those.
That's the one that I think is going to happen. I think
Ghost Eevee.
Ghost Eevee. Come
That's
on.
the next one.
It's gotta be. I don't want a Rock Eevee. You fucking kidding? I want a Ghost Eevee.
Rock.
I don't want a Rock Eevee.
I can imagine like he's got like his paws are like a little cloudy or something.
A Dragon Eevee would be. I don't know how the fuck they would.
It would be all in the tail. It would be all in the tail.
Yeah.
It would be all in the tail.
All in the tail.
But I'm for it, man. Evolutions, that was the most hype moment of Sword and Shield for me was catching an Espeon. The most hype moment of Legends for me was catching an Umbreon. I just love evolutions. I don't know. I think Coliseum propagandized me and radicalized my taste in Pokemon.
Oh, that was the coolest. You started with 2 fully evolved evolutions.
Come on!
The coolest fucking thing.
Let's
go.
You
blow up a building and then you jump out and you race off with them on the side, like in the desert.
Sidecar, yeah.
And all you hear is like, bow, 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 bow. And it's like, you're in the West, man. You're blowing shit up. You're going out there with Espeon and Umbreon. Like, it doesn't get cooler than that.
The disco guy in the first one or the second one? I cannot remember.
What was it?
The disco bad guy with
Coliseum.
the afro.
Oh, Mir B?
Mir B.
Yeah. He always cracked me the fuck up anytime he came in. Gosh. They had such great character designs in those games.
Oh, yeah.
Even the protagonist in XD looked fucking cool.
Right.
They had the on their arm, the gauntlet or whatever.
I'd like to see that kind of art style make a comeback, but I'm not holding my breath for it.
Nah.
Andy, we were talking about it.
Like a Legends.
It was like kind of some Final Fantasy vibes with Coliseum.
Little bit of under the plate Midgar going on in the beginning of that game.
The very end boss kind of got the same colors as Sephiroth. Like that long white hair, like purple pants.
I just think FF7 influenced a lot of things around it, just like inadvertently. Because I think it was such an anomaly.
Look at the church, the cathedral in the new trailer for Scarlet and Violet. It looked straight out of like a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, I would say
the big church with all the spikes and it was like awesome.
I'm for it.
Let's keep one thing in mind, though. We have to keep one thing in mind. You got to look at these 3 starters, and you got to say which one's going to be in the new Smash game. in 5 years.
Fuego!
It's whichever one is going to bipedal. It's whichever one's bipedal.
Yeah. That'll
No,
do
I'm
it.
just
4
messing
feet,
around.
4 legs, no way.
I don't even want to
Trust
think
me,
about it.
I think about that too.
Yeah, I
No,
saw with the cat
Cool.
Pokemon, they were like, please keep your legs to the ground.
Swear to God. I swear to God, every single goddamn starter ends up on 2 legs. Fucking come on. They even put
But like,
Typhlosion on 2 legs. Like he's standing up like this. Like, come on. Give us like like 2 out of the 3 in every generation are standing up on 2 feet. You know, it
but
drives me crazy.
maybe that's
I don't know, I
just the
thought
way-
that
Stadium
Typhlosion was
always
fun.
looked cool.
I thought Typhlosion was fun, personally.
Alligator's another one.
Goes on 2 legs.
I mean, this is just further proof that Bulbasaur is the greatest starter of all time. A hill I will die on, by the way.
Blaziken, Sceptile, and Swampert all on 2 legs. Who else?
David, I'm not going to deal with this
Incineroar.
anti-bipedal propaganda on my podcast, so I'm just going to interrupt you. As a fellow
All right.
bipedal creature, we're cutting it off here, okay?
Fuck him up, Landy.
Fuck no, I'm just talk to him, bro. But listen, let's on that note, I think it's time we put a bow on this whole thing. This might be the longest podcast in the show's history. It's coming up on
might
2
be.
hours. I think we
Yeah, it
I think we
might
might
be.
have gotten there.
Wow.
So on that note, let's go in the same
Another
order
30 minutes. No, I'm
we
just kidding.
introduced.
Well, let's keep going. How's life, guys? How's everyone doing? You know?
Oh, it's great, bro. It's great. Just chilling. Parents were just in town. We had a great time. How's your mother, David?
Great. Yeah, she's great. Everyone's doing good here.
That's-
You know, working. I had this week off for President's Day, and we just hung out. It was
Oh, that's
great.
right. That's
Had a
right.
great
You're a
break.
teacher. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Had that whole long break. It was fucking beautiful. Went up to
I thought
New
it was a
Hampshire
joke.
for a little bit. No, I
I thought it was a joke.
swear to God.
Well, David, on that note, you want to let people know where it is they can find you and what it is that you do?
Well, you just announced I am a teacher. So if you ever want lessons in history, you can come to your boy. But really, what I've put out there in the world is Brown Sugar and the Blind Albinos. We've been a band now for 2017, 2018, and we're working on new music. We have stuff in the works now. We have basically an entire album's worth of songs ready to go. So stay tuned for that. We're going to get it out to you as soon as possible. And there might be a show coming in the near future.
Oh, baby.
Who's out there?
That's
Brown
what I
Sugar
like
and the
to
Blind
hear.
Albinos. Follow us.
There we go. Treehouse, how about you?
About to become a lot more active. Go ahead, Tree.
You can find me definitely every Monday through Friday on Twitch, Treehouse_TTV. Play a lot of Smash. I'm actually doing my first tournament this week, which will be kind of fun. It'll be a good experience. So
Ooh.
if you want to see some crazy stuff happen, it's very vague, but you never know. I could get absolutely destroyed, or I could do pretty good. So find me on Twitch. And I also have Twitter, same username, Treehouse_TTV. It's the same for Instagram and YouTube. So come along there if you want to see some Pokemon, some Smash, and a little Kingdom Hearts.
All right, Lance, finish us off, baby.
Hey guys, again, I'm Lance. I am a master. I play a lot of Pokemon Kingdom Hearts. You can find me at twitch.tv/LanzofMasters. I am starting a 13-day fundraiser tomorrow for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention called Lance 13. What is this going to be? A 13-day, we'll be streaming 13 days in a row. We're going to be playing Kingdom Hearts 1 on Proud Mode. And I'm going to have incentives to make the playthrough harder, that the community can bring me all the pain. So and we have a
No
bunch
items?
of No items, no magic, no summons.
I like
Kingdom
it.
key only. We have a bunch of cool milestones. My goal is to raise $1,300. I am more than confident that my community is going to be able to do that. And I'm also a committee member of KH20, an online and in-person event celebrating the 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts. All 7 tickets, they are still on sale. They are going fast for the in-person event in Austin, Texas. It's happening at Pinballs from March 25th to 27th. And I heard, Landy, you might be involved in this.
Oh, I might be involved big time. But
Big time now.
aren't we going to save that for another day?
I think we are going to see it for another day, yeah.
It's very
And
exciting.
we got
say-
the
did
Million
you say big
Dreams
time?
Award.
Jesus.
Did he say big time?
You said big time.
Big
I said
time,
big
yeah.
time, bro.
Is it
I said
big
big time like Big Pika.
We got the Million Dreams Award. We got Kingdom Talks. We have Chad Music performing a live set. We have a Keyblade. We have Designer Keyblade. We have so many amazing things planned for KH Money, and love to see you there, whether it be in person or online.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. The Pokemon world is looking optimistic, which is quite remarkable. I want to give another big shout out to the Sages of the Lodge. Couldn't do this without them. And without further ado, we will wrap it up here. But if you're on Twitch, if you happen to be chilling on Twitch, you need to hang out for the raid of Andy Brew, who's ripping the gold standard of JRPGs,
Let's go.
Persona 5 Royal. So everybody hop in this boat. Let's go over there. Let Andy know we love him. Everybody, really can't thank you enough for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. We got some Kingdom Hearts content dropping later in the week. A lot more after that. Stay tuned. Thanks for hanging out. See you on the next one.